Hello and welcome to the brand new Premier League away day show for 23-24 on Back of the Net with myself, Sam Davis.
And me, Tom Jordan.
We are looking very different today, mate. You've gone for the dark look, I've gone for the pretty in pink. Whose top do you like the best? Let us know in the comments. Look, brand new away day show. We've done the Championship, we've done the Premier League already, so we felt as though we needed to mix it up. And this time, we're going more statistical, more mathematical. We've got an actual formula for ranking these teams. Tom, this time round, we're going to be scoring 8 different points when it comes to the away days. Do you want to talk me through them, sir?
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, so I'm sure most of you have seen it, but if you've watched the previous ones from the last couple of seasons, we done like a tier list and we spoke about different categories, but we weren't too, what's the word? We weren't too like scientific with it, were we?
We were just flinging it about. Like.
But this time we thought we've got to mix it up a little bit. Let's be a little bit more precise with different categories. So yeah, as you say, mate, there's going to be 8 different ones. We'll start with your parking.
Parking is
crucial.
An actual key one. But it's proximity, but also the cost of it as well.
Yeah, so that's one we thought we needed to dive into.
Yeah.
Then we talk about the pre-match pub.
Yeah.
We always go into, whatever the pre-match pub is or what one we choose. Some have more selection. Some only give you kind of the 1 or 2. Some are mixed. Some are home only, away only, blah, blah, blah. So we'll go into that. Then we talk about the walk to the ground.
This is good. I like this because there are some not very picturesque walks to the ground, but also some that are really long walks. Some very short walks, some through peaceful, idyllic fields and countryside, some where there's like sofas and fridges on the pavements and stuff. I think that this also gives you a gauge of the surrounding area as well. So I think, why not include that as well?
Then we go into a nice little different one here, mate. It's called the wow factor.
We get the fans involved, we get you involved. So we speak to one fan who has never been to said stadium before, ever. This week, we've got someone that you might recognise. He's never been to Anfield before, but we get a 30-second opinion before grading it. And this is to grade the stadium, like the wow factor, how much it impresses you. So that one's pretty good as well. What else we got?
We've got binoculars.
Sorry, what?
The view.
Okay, you're not stalking me.
Nah, the view.
Okay.
So what is the view? I mean, we'll go into... This is from the away end, just obviously. This is the view that we get as an away fan of the pitch, of everything really. What is the view like? Because it does differ a lot, and that is a massive part of the the away day experience. So we talk about the view, and then we go into pint a pint.
Pint a pint. Now, I think it's important that we get the prices and we find out whether it's any good or whether it's tasty, because that's the staple diet of most football fans at half-time, right? We appreciate it if you don't drink or don't eat high cholesterol foods that'll give you heart attacks. But pint a pint,
we do. Well, we go for it. Just for this, really. I normally wouldn't, but just for the ratings. Then we talk about obviously the noise. The noise is massive, so that kind of atmosphere. We've got to get into the atmosphere. That's a big part of it, and I think every fan does it, whether they do it openly or subconsciously. You always go into away games and go, oh, they were louder than the team we played a couple of weeks ago, and you kind of gauge it. We appreciate that for certain clubs they're going to be more up for certain games, but we just got to go off what we're going on the day. We don't think about what it was like before.
No. On
that game, what was the noise like? And then we go for value for money, mate.
Yeah, value for... And look, there's a number of things that football fans tend to do. They'll park the car, they'll sometimes pay for it. Obviously, we'll cover this off separately as well, but this is an overall grading. The buyer programme, the pint a pint, etc. So it's really interesting just to get an overall feel of how much you're paying, whether you feel as though you've overpaid or underpaid, or it's probably just about right.
And we'll make sure that we don't say the value for money depends on the result, because we didn't mention it, but if you haven't seen before...
Nothing to do with the football.
This is nothing to do. Nothing.
Get it out of your head.
Nothing to do with
Stop talking
football.
about that 3-1 loss where the referee was an absolute joke.
By the way.
Stop thinking about it.
Yeah, so with the value for money... We're not going to go, because we got beat, it was less worth it. Nothing to do with what happens on the pitch. The closest we get to what happens on the pitch is the view of it.
Yeah, exactly. Did somebody say just park? No, is that right?
Do they use that?
No,
I know it's Just Eat,
yeah.
but it's Just Park connected to Just... Can we just go off a tangent about it? Is Just Park linked to Just Eat? I'm not sure, but parking.
Expensive around Anfield, mate. Like, you were on the app, and I think one of the cheapest ones, which was 15 minutes away, was 18 quid. No, actually 20 quid, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think once you pay your kind of the fees or whatever, I think it was like $20.99 in the end. And that was kind of, you Just Park, where it's always a good thing to use. But I guess if you're in and around it and you're kind of putting your driveway up on Just Park and stuff, you're going to charge, because Anfield, you know that if there's not much parking around, you can get a bit of
Well, you know what was really annoying on this one? Paid for a driveway, right? We pull up. There are some concrete girders, you can see the picture, across the driveway so we couldn't pull in, right?
It literally looks like it's there to block us. We paid for it.
And like, you knock at the door, just to clarify, like, okay, so is it road parking and we have a permit that you give? So when you knocked at the door, what was he like? Was he...
Dog was barking for a bit.
Yeah.
So I thought he's not in. Then he come down, I think he was asleep. He'd obviously woke up at the door and he went, I said, yeah, I've paid for it. He went, have you? Must have been my son. I went, okay, well, we can't actually get on what we've paid for. Are we all right just parking down here? Because obviously it's permit only. Yeah.
So did we come back to a clamp? Fortunately, we didn't. And fine.
I guess it was a situation where they can obviously link it probably to just park, and that we've clearly paid for that space, so we're his permit holder. I don't know, but either way, we were absolutely fine just paying on the road, but parking on the road. But yeah, it was, to be fair, it was, everything else about it was fine, but.
What's here are you putting it in, mate? This is the tier. Look at, have you seen this tier list? Look at this. Look at it. Look at it. So we're scoring the points individually, and we're using mathematics to work out the overall score to put them on a league table.
Oh yes.
Where are you putting this one?
Oh, this is tough now. I mean, we were there together, so let's try and go together. So, parking in the end, all things considered, we got there, parked fine. It was all good, and I paid for our bit pricey. Yeah. Like you say, the fact that we didn't technically park where we paid for, because we didn't go on the driveway. And it's quite expensive. Not the best?
Not the best.
Is that what you're thinking as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
One mind.
Right, next then, pre-match pub. We'll rattle on through this. We've talked about Arkles before, but £4.60 for a pint of Coors, so you're paying less than a fiver. If you've got your Green King Sport app, you can save 10% off that. Tom, you know what we did?
No, don't. Don't remind me. I know what we did.
Oh my God! So on the Friday, Lucy, who's a major part of things behind the scenes on this channel, said, "Yeah, Tom, Sam, Steve, I've emailed you individually a coupon to get a free bottle of Heineken. Okay, because there's this offer on Instagram. She clicked it, she put in her email address, so she got a date of birth, she put it through. We got the email saying, yep, we've received the email. All you've got to do is flash the QR code to the staff. We forgot to use it.
I just didn't even think about it. How did none of the three of us remember?
I know. And what's worse, it is one for a Green King pub, but it's for Arkles.
Yeah, I know. But
we have to go back.
Everton away coming up. We'll use that again.
Use that
again. We've got to remember to use that again. But yeah, I obviously, won't go into too much detail because we've been to Arkles before. I quite like it.
It's got a little outdoor bit as well.
Yes, which is always, there's enough room in there. It can be relatively spacious. I mean, they always have the early kickoff on, which scum as one. Don't talk about the football. But I quite like Arkles.
Service is fast.
Yeah, I quite like Arkles actually.
What are you going for?
I'm going to go happy enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
8 points. 8 points for Arkles. Yeah, I like Arkles.
Okay, in terms of the walk to the ground then from Arkles to the other side of the Anfield Road end, obviously there's a little bit of redevelopment. You would usually be able to walk right behind the stand, but at the moment you're going through Stanley Park a little bit, but it's a nice idyllic walk. It's a short walk, and it's a pleasant walk as well. So from the pub to the ground, you're talking about 5 minutes or so, but it allows you to take in the sort of local area, and it's a really well maintained park. Of course, you've got Goodison about 400 yards down the road as well, but it's a quite nice sort of chilled way to get to the ground, isn't it? It's not like you're walking through, the hood in order to get there.
No, easy walk. And like you say, I think for me personally as well, obviously all them things come into question, but before a game, you want as short as walk as possible, really, that gets you there. And it's probably, we'll find out later in the season, but for previous, it's one of the better ones, I would say. So yeah, I was literally about to say I'm happy enough with it. So that's where it goes for me. It's got to be happy enough, hasn't it?
Happy enough.
Yeah.
Right, the wow factor. Which fan has not been to Anfield before? It is Ben Phillips, back of the net's very own. This is what he thought.
Hello football fans, Ben here. So my overall thoughts on Anfield is that it is a lovely ground. I really like it, it's not a soulless bowl like the Etihad or the King Power, stadiums like that. Really cool, it's got its own feeling to it. I really like it, and I feel like if it would be in the top tier if the Kop was bigger and the Anfield Road upper tier was open for the game. But my overall feelings of the ground is that it was a nice solid ground, 8 out of 10. I really like it. Anfield, you're going in 8.
So Ben is putting it in happy enough 8, and yeah, I mean Anfield, it's got its development at the moment of the Anfield Road end. It should be open very soon. Sad that we couldn't be there for it. They wanted it to be open. Doesn't help that the construction company's gone to administration, so not sure what's going to happen there. Right, on to the view then from where we are. It's I think it's a really nice view. It's sound, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if. Yeah, I've been there before. And I think what's good with a view is if you don't really. I had to just like kind of bring myself back there because if you don't think about the view or talk about it much, it must be good because it's not a problem.
When you haven't got an oval shape or whatever, or when you sometimes you got rounded, but because it's a 4 stands, it's actually very close.
I do like the view. It might go back in there again, you know.
Yeah,
happy enough. Yeah. No, I mean, we've got to remind you, perfection is very hard to get into, but happy enough is a very good. They're doing all right here.
They are doing all right.
Started well, mate. Started well.
Pint. Now, I'll let you into a secret. Throughout the season, we are going to be using a Daily Mirror chart, and we will go through, by the way, and we will check that this is correct. Yep. The Daily Mirror have published the prices of a pie and a pint for every ground, and I can tell you that they're correct. They're bang on the money in terms of the cheapest beer you can get. Okay, so firstly, Anfield. It was £3.30 last season for a bottle of Carlsberg. £3.50 for a bottle of Carlsberg, 500 millilitres. But you're not a huge fan of Carlsberg, so you thought San Miguel.
Like a San Miguel.
I'm
only having one, so I'll have a pint.
Yeah, so that is, well, how much?
£5.50 was it? I think it was £5.50.
So you're paying £2 more for a drink that's got less millilitres than the bottle.
Yeah, and I thought, I can handle that. I prefer San Miguel.
It's a draft pint, right?
Draft pint. So,
pulled from.
No.
What? Pulled from the.
Once money's been exchanged, once I've tapped in. No. Can. Bloody lukewarm. No, it wasn't that bad. It was in a fridge. It wasn't ice cold, obviously, but it was all right in terms of temperature. But a can of San Miguel, like you say, how much millilitres was it? You say
440. So a can versus your 500 millilitre Carlsberg bottle for £3.50. Like what? That pricing
doesn't make sense. Is San Miguel that much better than Carlsberg? But yeah, that's not good enough. Pie
£3.20. It was £3.20 last season.
Yeah,
£3.60 this season. And Kaz on our Telegram group said that the food in and around the ground and inside was pretty ropey. It was just your standard pie. So it's not going to win any Michelin stars, put it that way. So based on that experience, Tom,
I know what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
not the best.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at the price, thinking, well, if you go for a £3.50 drink, you've got 5, and that's good value. But Carlsberg, not the best. Yeah, not the best.
But I don't think it's hideous enough to go into rubbish quite. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt there. Yeah, going to go not the best.
Okay. In terms of the noise that you the noise.
Noise.
Yeah, the noise.
Oh, what from us, from the away end,
No, from just the whole like the home fans and stuff.
What after You'll Never Walk Alone? There was noise.
I thought it was better than last season.
Did you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and I wonder if subconsciously, as I say, we don't talk about the game, but just to dip into it for a second, I wonder if you noticed it more last season because they were winning 9-0, so you're like, why are they not going mental?
Yeah, true.
But I think this isn't Liverpool's fault. I think that because that perception of the Anfield Roar and Champions League nights, and you've got to appreciate, they're playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's going to have more of an atmosphere than playing Bournemouth. But
why?
Yeah, but I think that almost does them a disservice because then everyone's going into it thinking about this massive and it is a bit of a myth. I'm not being horrible. It is because they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." It's always good.
Yeah.
It's always good before the game, and then they go Liverpool.
Liverpool. I did hear LA.
Oh, did you?
Once or twice.
Nice. Yeah, no, give a shout.
No.
Rubbish.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, Liverpool fans, but that's how it was.
You went into LA there, fair play. But all I can remember was "You'll Never Walk Alone" and Liverpool. So they remind us who they were.
They conquered all of Europe.
2 songs, 2 points.
They've conquered all of Europe. They're never going to stop. They need to sing and never stop.
Yes.
See how that goes.
I do also, little counterpoint is, even though it can be louder, the issue as well is the ones that do sing are not the ones next to us.
Yeah.
they feel a little bit touristy.
Yeah.
The ones next to the away end, but
and the ones in the away end. Value for money then, right? It's £4 for a programme. Inside, you're paying $3.50 for a drink. Your pre-match pub, you're paying £4.60. Your Just Park, you're paying about £1,000. No, 20 quid. Overall, mate, do you sort of get the feeling it's? I mean, £3.50 for a 500ml bottle, albeit Carlsberg's actually all right.
Yes.
Programme's £4, which is about standard. I think ours is $3.50. It's not like there are some clubs that make money out of their programme. Your value for money is actually right. It's just the price of parking, which has just let it down a little bit. So I sort of know where I want to put it.
Yeah, I'm close between two. I'm happy to give you the final say because I'm kind of in the middle. I don't think it's above average, actually. I want to go not the best.
I wanted to go above average because I just thought, then you pay and you a lot for the parking. No, I think above average because
yeah. Go on, twist my arm. Come on.
Well, look, it is one of the cheapest pies in the Premier League.
Okay.
There's only one club that's cheaper.
Okay, that's a fair point.
And that's Everton.
You know what? Go on then.
All
It
right.
looks a bit lonely, that section.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. I don't. Yeah, I was really, really close on that one. I think it was that could go either way. But yeah, no, I'm happy with that because, and also I think that, yeah, like you said as well, if we're bringing in value for money, we're also talking about that pre-match, you know, and the articles and stuff. And I like articles, and we've already put that in there, and I think everything in there is pretty good. So yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
So you know what?
Calculations.
Where does this put
Are you good
it?
at maths, or do you want me to get my calculator out?
No, I've worked it out, mate. I'm Carol Vorderman here.
I ain't got a clue.
Right, so where does this put it on the league table? Well, first, because we've only had one away game. But, you know what? Teams are going to be added. There are teams that might go above them, teams that might go below them. Liverpool have scored out of a total of 48.
Okay, and we don't know if that's good or not.
Yeah, and we don't know if that's good or not. So
First time we've done it.
48 points out of 80. There you can see the league table. It's going to be populated throughout the season, so it's going to be interesting whether Liverpool finish in the Champions League, Europa, mid-table, or maybe they're relegated. Who knows?
It's weird, isn't it? What do you reckon for an early prediction? Because I'm not, obviously, like I said, it's the first time we've done it in this format. Do you reckon that'll be, obviously, go into the games, you think, hopefully it's 20 because that means everything will be amazing. Yeah. But realistically, it's quite hard to judge, isn't it?
Yeah, I really don't know.
Really quite hard to judge.
I mean, it's better than 50%, which is good.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
So yeah, we'll find out how that develops throughout the season. There is a reason to subscribe.
Definitely.
Hit the button. We truly appreciate it. And then also give this video a like because that would also help us too. Tom, this new format has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, nice to mix it up, innit? It's always nice to just mix it up a little bit. I love doing these shows. We didn't want to just ditch it because obviously we went Championship to Premier League, so it was easy to just continue. But we don't want to ditch it, so let's just mix it up a little bit. Let us know what you think. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. I think the next one is Brentford. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you've not been to Brentford before and you want to appear on Back of the Net, just like Ben did, send us an email. fans@afcbpodcast.com or put your details in the comments and then we will get in touch with you, and then all we need is a 30-second video and then you need to then score it on our tier list for us. So this is your decision, all right? It's not just our decision. You help to make the overall grading. Ben voted it happy enough with 8 points for the wow factor. What do you think? Get in touch. Tom, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, mate, and you. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, and I suppose the content just continues. What is it? Opposition preview tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And then Friday, our preview show.
Oh, yeah.
Then the game itself.
And then we talk about the game.
And it never stops.
It never stops, but I love it. Bring it on.
Up the cherry. See you in the next one.
I didn't even sing that.